Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Melissa Nager here. And as I promised, I wanted to come on live today and talk about something. I usually come on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and do a topic pertaining to network marketing and success in your business, whether it's home business or network marketing. They can apply to both usually. But I was up at the lake with my family yesterday, and I had a little bit of hard time getting caught up this morning and, getting back and getting settled. So it's a little bit late today, but it's still coming to you. So it's still coming live. But the topic says stop blaming your upline for your lack of success, take two, because my first video I did on here was during the week last week, and it mysteriously vanished. I have no idea what happened to it. I waited and it never reappeared. So here is my take two on the same subject. So if you're popping on and you're on your lunch break or you're at home, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know what city and state you're tuning in from, so we can say hello and give your state and city a shout out. But let me get right into the subject. We're going to talk about the way that people can handle the first reaction as a human and human nature is to point the finger and blame others for our lack of success. And a lot of times as a leader, whether you've experienced this with your downline or you're someone who has blamed your upline, this can be a real issue in network marketing. And a lot of the time, the blame doesn't belong where it's getting pointed. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about my story. When I got started pretty early in my network marketing career, I was determined that there were a couple of things I was going to have to give up if I wanted to be successful. One of them was making excuses. They just pretty much had to go out the window. I had an amazing mentor, and she told me this is a no excuse zone, had to get rid of those excuses. And there's a lot of us that would like to be better at learning to stop making the excuses. But at this stage in my life, the only way I was going to be able to set enough time for my business and stay consistent was to X them out completely and altogether. The second thing I needed to do was stop blaming others or stop putting the blame where it didn't belong when I didn't get to those rank goals, or I didn't get to that amount of people that I wanted to talk to, or I didn't get enough people to see my presentation. So, a lot of that was something I had to learn in the very beginning. Like I said, we do this a lot without realizing it. It's much easier to point our finger at someone else or elsewhere than look internally. It makes people uncomfortable. And I'm just going to say it right now at the beginning of this video. It's not your upline or your sponsor's job to make you successful. I can't tell you how many times a week, sometimes more in a day, I hear, I'm really having a hard time and my sponsor won't help me. It's all their fault. Nobody gave me the tools. This, you guys, is another excuse. That's the truth. The internet is full of resources and people that you can follow, or there are videos, there is YouTube, there is most likely in your business you have some sort of leadership and tools. If you don't, that's okay still. And some people do not. You have to look elsewhere. There are many people in the industry giving free training on a regular basis, and that is the only way that I learned I wasn't dependent on someone else. You have to be self-dependent in this business. Sure, we all hope that when we are offered an opportunity and we listen to the presentation that someone has offered, that we'll in turn have a supportive upline to point us in the right direction and kind of hold our hand a little bit. And like I said, some of us do and some of us don't. I can tell you, for instance, when I was offered the opportunity in the business that I'm involved in now, my upline was heavily invested in her other business, which we both were in when I started this, and had very little time to hold my hand and nudge me along the whole way. I never expected that. She shouldn't have to be my mommy in the first place. But there are so many out there that actually expect that. And that's really something that we have to stop telling people and start making people realize that this is not something that you're going to buy in. Network marketing is not a lottery ticket. And it most certainly isn't someone else's job to make you successful. I found all the resources to expand on what I was saying. I joined very early on. We had very few people on the team. It was a new opportunity, a new company. So I found all the resources I needed on my own. I learned about the company on my own. I stayed plugged in because we were growing at a rapid rate and new things were coming out constantly. That is your own responsibility. I hate to say this, but I do say this to my team sometimes. When someone might be a little too needy, say, what if I was in a fatal car accident tomorrow? I'm not, of course, I would never wish that on anybody, your upline as well as myself, but are you just going to close up shop and say, oh, you know what, there goes my dreams. I have no support. I'm closing up shop. Of course you're not. That would be totally and completely ridiculous. This is something that you created and that you're creating every day. It's your own business, and you need to be the CEO of your own business. Depending on another person in your business to hold your hand every step of the way is not what this marketing opportunity and what network marketing is supposed to do. It's not the way it's supposed to work. One of the main reasons so many of us go into this industry is to have more freedom. And obviously, if you're sitting there having to hold the hand of everyone that you have personally enroll under you, that is not making any sense, and it will not give you any freedom. Obviously, that's going to take up more of your time, and that is not what network marketing is all about. How the heck is that going to give anybody freedom? Obviously, if you're expected to do that for the first 1 to 3 years of everyone starting their journey in network marketing, if they're new, that's insane. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well have a really small, really awesome team, which is kind of ridiculous. You can't plan on that. So I'm not going to be, just so you know, as an upline, as far as the way I operate and the way that I own my leadership, is I'm not going to be anyone's babysitter, manager, or mommy. I will always be your coach as long as you're coachable, and I will give you all the resources that's required, but that's where it ends. Of course, I'm going to help when my team, or actually I help a lot of people that aren't even on my team. I have no preference as to who needs help. My goal is to help everyone in the industry. So it doesn't even matter if you're on my team, actually, as long as they're actually trying and they remain coachable. I will help you as much as I can, and I will continue to offer my time to those as long as they're matching my efforts. I will not help people that are not putting the time and energy that it takes after I've given them some information, and if they're not implementing it, I'm not going to let someone else take up any more of my time. If you launch, it's up to you to launch into your own business and educate yourself and constantly grow. Like I said, there are resources everywhere. All you have to do is take the time. Lots of people think that the leaders, this is another kind of sticky little subject that I've kind of noticed going on since I started. This is about my third year in network marketing, I would say. And something that I've noticed is a lot of people think that the leaders are using secrets or tactics that they don't share with you, and there's like some secret sauce and they're not giving it to you, and that the leaders or the people that are having success, like myself, were clued in on some secret technique, and that's what helped us, rank up or to get where we're at in our business. And I can tell you 100% honest, there is no shortcut. There's no shortcut in my business. I actually followed the system, which I was taught, and I duplicated the success. Success leaves clues. I duplicated what the successful people were doing until I made it myself, and I in turn teach that to all that come aboard on my team. If it doesn't make any sense, you really have to think about that. If you're thinking that people are withholding things from you and they're your upline, that does not make any sense. If you want to build a super awesome team and you want your team to be one of the top teams, why in the heck would your upline keep that info or lie to you? That makes zero sense, zero. And like I said, I can be here 5 days a week and offer you all these tips, bring value to you in your business, and tell you my journey, give you my experiences along the way. But unless you implement those things on a daily basis and stay consistent, it will never, ever work and pan out. You have to do that in network marketing. That is the basis of daily activity. And like I said, I've said in a couple other videos, a lot of people are looking for shortcuts. I have a lot of people, when they get frustrated, they will look for shortcuts, such as like automated sales funnels. There's this automated little thing going around, and it picks up anyone in a radius that's got an Android or an iPhone or something and it spams them. That is absolutely not how I operate. I absolutely do not take shortcuts. I am not paying for ads. I am not doing any of that stuff. I am working and grinding every day, doing the simple techniques that the successors that I watched before me followed and taught me. So, whatever your industry is or whatever your team is, you may have a different way completely of how it's working for you, and what works for me may be completely different. You have to take basic principles in the industry and apply it where it's fitting in your own business. If you take, let's say, 5 to 7 leaders in just my company, maybe the whole industry, you'll see that most use the same effective principles. However, their journey is very different, and one could take longer than another. One could have reached success faster. No matter what, your individual success is determined by your own individual effort into your own journey. You can absolutely never blame someone else for what you didn't achieve or what did happen. That is complete BS. Your upline does not have to be your friend either. This is another subject that's, people have different opinions on it. Most of the times it makes it harder when you have a friend in business with you. I have to give out some tough love to my team a lot. And when I have new people on the team, who have never done network marketing or had a home business, sometimes when I'm friends with those people or I've established a friendship that seems a little more personal than business, it can be harder to be honest with someone who needs to hear the truth. As a leader, as a future leader, your upline, your goal should always be to be a leader, and your upline is not your boss either. You are your own boss and you are the CEO. Nobody is to blame if things don't work out except for you. If we're all following the same system and using the same tools, think about this, and the only difference is you. What do you think? Where do you think that problem is? You need to analyze those things as you work through your journey. And my advice for all of those that are new to MLM and those who aren't is to fire your upline ASAP. Stop hanging on their ankles as soon as you can. The last thing they need is somebody grappling onto them, number one, because that's preventing them from having the freedom that we all desire and what our ultimate goal is in this business. And the more successful you're going to be if you let go. You'll be able to find yourself, find your strengths and your weaknesses, and stop saying it's someone else's fault when you fail or quit. The percentage of people who quit in network marketing is really high. It's something like 90% within the first 90 days. We as leaders and as people who are actively recruiting people into our business expect the people who join us to be part of that 90%. So we're waiting on you to prove us wrong. Stand on your own 2 feet, and when it's not working, own it. The only way to be better is by failing, getting back up, learning from those mistakes, and being better instead of being mad. So that is kind of what I had to say about that subject today. Stop blaming others for your lack of success. Own it. Take responsibility for your own actions and reach your goals on your own. And trust me, if you follow somebody else to a T and you're faking it, people are going to know you're not being authentic. Just be you and take your own journey. Like I said, I'm in my 3rd year and I'm just now getting really good at what I do. And, had I quit in that first 90 days, like majority of people who start, I would never be here. I would never be enjoying the awesome freedom. Like yesterday, I went to the lake with my family. I took a whole day off, and you know what? I still got paid yesterday. So, own it, take your own journey, and stop blaming others. It's something that we tend to do a lot, and without self-reflection, you can't grow. So that's what I had to say today, guys. Happy Monday. It's Spazzo Monday. I get crazy on Mondays, you guys know, because I like Mondays. And I'm going to go get back to work. If there's anything you ever should need, feel free to reach out for me. Check out my blog at workingwithmelissa.com. If there's any topics you'd like to see discussed, please drop them in the chat, and I'll be absolutely sure to address them and talk about them in my future videos. I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m., not same time, but the same place at my office here at my home, and we have a new subject. So have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.